Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jeff, and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing that we're trying to do today is we are playing our Red Dragons deck. Mono Red Dragons, there's a bunch of other fun dragons to be playing in this format, but I decided to start out with our Red Dragons. I'll be getting into other dragons kind of in the future. I want to build a Gates Dragons deck because honestly, right now, you can just build a Gates deck and add pretty much anything to it, and honestly, it works out pretty well. But we're going to start out here because we have Sarkhan Skarrgan, which is just an amazing red dragon. And we already had a really awesome deck before this in the last standard, just based around Sark and Fireblood, Fire Exploded Wing, Demanding Dragon, Lathliss Dragon Queen, and kind of the goal of our deck is to try to get out a Lathliss Dragon Queen and keep it as long as we can. It's kind of our hope, and then getting down to Demanding Dragon or Sark and Hellkite, maybe even kicking a Varix Exploded Wing the turn after playing Lathliss. That is typically achieved by getting down to Sarkhan on turn 3 and kind of ramping up that way, or just kind of ramping up normally, kind of controlling the board with our removal, just big bodies and stuff like that. But if we can just get a Lathliss Dragon Queen, so if you guys don't know what that does, anytime another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. And then it can pay 2 to pump dragons to get +1 until end of turn. I've missed that a few times, and so I'm going to try to make sure I remember that with all the games today. The last bit of text there that you can pay 2 to give all dragons +1/+0, which is very, very important in some games. But this card is just broken. If it stays on the battlefield, especially when we're playing so many dragons, it is just so fun. And so we do have a couple dragon eggs for that reason. We're trying to get the triggers off of the dragons. That, and also because there's so many board wipes right now, especially with the Gates decks and everything else, that Dragon's Egg is actually amazing because when it dies, it creates a 2/2 red dragon creature token flying, and you can pay 1 red, and this gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Once you get to the late game, when they finally typically fire off, their board wipe or whatever, if they have another removal spell, then yeah, it's bad. But I've seen this get in for 8-9 points of damage in one swing before, and that can just close out games. And so sometimes they have to find an answer. They have to find a board wipe and kill this in order to actually have a chance. And so I do like Dragon's Egg in general, but most of the time it is just going to be getting us another 5/5 dragon, or getting a counter onto Dragon's Horde, or being a blocker that can be a little bit annoying. But overall, this deck is super fun. So let's go ahead and get into the games and see how it plays. And here we go. Wish me luck. Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to fusiongamingonline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below. Alright, we're up against Big Boss Pizza Sauce. And, ooh, man, this is the one thing. I just barely added the Field of Ruins and Detection Tower. So I have 2 Field of Ruin and Detection Tower. I was thinking that those would be kind of fun to play. But I don't love seeing 2 of them in my opening hand. But we'll see how this goes. Alright, so Mountain, pass the turn. I like Spit Flame is such an amazing removal spell. It's as good as a Lava Coil, except it doesn't exile, or for the most part. Alright, Field of Ruin, pass the turn. The biggest issue is, but it actually comes back to hand. That's just the beauty of it. Like, if it is 1 extra mana, but still instant speed removal, does 4 damage, which kills so many things in the format right now, and you can get it back over and over again with the dragons. So just it's a beautiful spell. The one thing is you have to be playing a deck that does go towards more lands. Man, not getting down Stark in here is an issue. That would be so good. We're going to go ahead and get down the Dragon's Horde, though. We need the double red for everything. And so definitely going to be playing that here. So I was debating whether or not I really wanted to bring in Field of Ruin and Detection Tower. Field of Ruin is so good against, all of the Search for Iskanta right now, and just a lot of things in general. Ooh, do we need to kill that? How much can we do here? We could try to draw for something else. We need to kill that for Sarkhan to survive. Demanding Dragon will kill this token and maybe stop it from attacking for a couple turns. So let's go for that. We might draw out quite a bit of removal this way. If we draw another land, then we can get down Lathliss. And this gives us a draw for next turn as well. So this is, I think, the best play here. Legion War Boss is definitely an important thing to be getting, though. Getting off the battlefield. Drill Bit. Ooh. Not fun. Well, they have a lot of choices here. So in the discard. So one thing I've been thinking about is with I want to be doing an Electro Dominance deck that gets people to discard instant speed, like towards the late game. That is just so brutal. All right, well, we are going to be chump-a-lumping here. Well, we can get down Lathless, which is a very beautiful thing. And so they did take our Sarkhan, which is a bummer, but having Lathless, ooh, this should be good. Maybe a Ravenous Chupacabra. I'm really not sure what they're playing here. They do have some Ravenous Chupacabras. If we draw another land, then we can just kick a Varix Bladewing, which is awesome. It's going to be difficult for them to really keep up with this. Swinging all in. Ooh, this is... So this is making me think that they have a Lava Coil. Are they willing to trade off a Legion Ward Boss? If they have a Lava Coil, they can do it. This could also just mean that they need to get damage in to start kicking skewers. I'm actually going to take this and try to get as much value out of Lathless as I can. I'm not sure that's the right play. It's just so suspicious. I really never know. The issue is if they still have something here, we just lose out on a wonderful opportunity to kill the Legion War Boss. But we do take out 6 points of damage from their hand, and if we draw land here, we can get a lot of power on the board. Well, not so good there. Let's just Lava Coil Legion War Boss. Play our Varix Bladewing. Not kicked. 2 cards in hand. They're doing 3 points of damage next turn. I can still swing in, so I actually want to start racing a little bit here. They only have 2 turns now, so they need to find answers and have damage going towards Demanding Dragon. All right, perfect. That's great. So they're going to have to feel pressure to swing in here, which we just kill one of their bigger guys. And I think we're in pretty good shape here. I mean, of course, they can just go off next turn, which I think is what they're realizing they kind of have to make that happen. So down to 8. Skarrgan is awesome. That makes us lethal. All right, so swing in hastily. Yep. And this is where I love Skarrgan. Is the haste is just so beautiful on that. Like having it's another glory bringer basically, just not quite as good, but it's pretty awesome. All right, up against Henbrood, and let's see. I hate keeping 2 landers, but I kind of been counting Dragon's Hordes as a land a little bit in this deck. I'm only running 24 lands, and 4 Dragon's Hordes is kind of like that, you know, counting as the 2 extra lands in there. But I'm always back and forth whether or not I should go up to 25. The one thing is, in Arena, you tend to draw quite a few lands, and so I've been playing around more that's going to be happening. So let's see what we're up against. Growth Spiral. Was this a gate? No. So I'm guessing Wilderness Reclamation. Something bad. Well, this is if we get to 5 mana, this is a scary hand. We can be doing a lot of damage that doesn't really care about... Yeah, there's Wilderness Reclamation. Well, let's see if we can stand up to this deck. Sarkhan is fun to try, at least. We'll get it down. Ugh, I'm surprised I didn't get countered there. I'm actually going to discard... I'm thinking Lava Quill now may not be as useful.
What madness!
I kind of want to keep our options available here. All right, there's Mountain. So Sarkhan is another thing they're going to have to answer at some point. Chemist's Insight. So we'll see what version this is. It doesn't look like Teamer yet. Teamer's all about burning you, where I think it's just Simic. I'm not sure if they're playing white or splashing anything else. Karn, huh? But okay, so this is the other version. This is the version is Fogs. Preventing combat damage is all they're trying to do here. So we'll give them a land. I'm not sure if that's better with this when they get so much extra land advantage. Field of Ruin. Cool. We'll add 2 mana.
They are coming.
Red and red. And we can at least draw and try to do something else here. Either that or maybe Field of Ruin just to get some more stuff out of our deck. And we get to do 5 points of damage, which is good. And do we want to draw now? Or Field of Ruin really doesn't do anything until they have a search for its contest. So we're going to go ahead and draw, trying to find something to do here. Land. All right. We'll pass the turn. And I'm guessing just Chemist's Insight. Yep. So we don't have a lot of turns left. They actually will probably next Fate here on this turn if they have it. We'll give them land. All right, so this is Bant. Blue, white, and green. So powerful. It's so hard to do much against this deck. It really is. All right, so this is going to hit anything. Sarkhan or Demanding Dragon. The nice thing is if they can't sacrifice this to the other Demanding Dragon. And we're still another turn away before we can play 2 things. I'm going to go ahead and play another Demanding Dragon here, though. See if it gets countered. Please sacrifice Deputy. That'd be awesome. Alright, takes it down to 10. We're going to do the same thing and just draw a card here. Try to find something useful. If we can kill this, it actually does 5 more points of damage for us. Alright, and, well, pass the turn. Honestly, find and removal now helps so much. If we can kill the Deputy of Detention, it's immediately 5 more points of damage, or killing something else if they create a Construct here. Okay. The question is if they're playing Primal Amulets in this version. If it's just straight up Nexus of Fate and Fogs. I'm thinking if they're playing Fogs, you don't typically play... well, you can still play Primal Amulet pretty well. There's Nexus of Fate. Alright, so we'll see if they go off here. We, once they start getting extra turns, it's so hard to beat this deck, especially with Karn on the battlefield as well. We'll give them another Karn. Arch of Vraska actually pretty bad for us. Yep, Revitalize. I feel like our deck is played pretty well. Mid-range is typically bad against control, and so things you can do to help that out is maybe, I mean, if you're playing traditional, then you can play some better sideboard stuff for it. Maybe just go down a couple, I think you go down a couple of Skarrgan against control. The haste is nice on it, but it's I feel like Demanding Dragon gets so much more value against control because you're either killing the one thing that they really want to be keeping. Okay, so Double Wilderness Reclamation. Oh, man, not so sure we have a shot. Yeah. Well, we'll give them the search for his Kanta. We're less worried about that than Teferi. Just because of Field of Ruin. Like, if they do... The thing is, they get to go searching more for Nexus of Fate now. But maybe... I don't know. They're down to half their deck, which means their odds of drawing into Nexus of Fate goes higher and higher every time they draw. And they play another Nexus. How many extra turns is this now? 1 extra turn. Alright, we just saw... So with that many extra turns, I think we just concede. Yeah, a lot of card draw there. Not much chance. Alright, up against Miteka. And Double Spit Flame. We're going to keep this, and hopefully we're up against anything that's not control. Because playing slow early game is bad against control. Alrighty, Drake's deck, possibly. Pass the turn. The Pteramander has been played in quite a few things lately, so I'm kind of unsure about that. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and get down the Sarkhan, because we can. I'm going to tick up and discard Spit Flame here, so we have an extra one and we can get it back. More removal. Land would be good. If we can land into Lathless, if it doesn't get countered, that would be amazing. Dragons are actually, I found to be really good against Drakes in general. I'm interested to see how the Pteramander does affect that, because it is a powerful card here. Alright, land is amazing. Alright, so tick up. Yeah, only one land there. 1 mana.
I will call the dragons.
And please, Lathless, just survive for a turn, and this will be so beautiful. Yes. Alright, can't pay for that now. If we draw another land, then we have the kicked Varix Bladewing. We create two... We create 1 5/5 dragon and 2 4/4 dragons. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, because it doesn't work with the token that comes in with Varix Bladewing. If you don't know what this does, if you kick it, so you spend 3 extra mana as you cast it, then it comes in with another 4/4 flying legendary creature with a different name. Lava Coil and another something bad. Of course. Shit and fire. These big meanies. How close are they now? 4. So not enough to adapt these guys yet. Once they adapt, that's bad. Ooh, alright. Well, we're still making this hard for them, which is good. They did find an answer, but we'll see. Alright, so Varix Bladewing kicked. And then we also just have like the best removal against Drakes as well. Like Lava Coil is so great against Drakes, and the Phoenixes. So we are going to be trying to save these for Phoenix just in case they're playing that. We shall see. We shall see. I think Saffron Olive did a version of this deck, and I'm trying to remember. I have to kind of keep track of what other people are doing because so many people play their decks. They're going to kick it here, or adapt it. So we're going to double block. So we're going to be able to kill it at least. And then Spit Flame on the next turn to kill this guy should be useful. Well, let's first off take up, discard Spit Flame.
I know what I'm doing.
Skarrgan. So next turn we can play Skarrgan and Lava Coil. But this way, do I want to play this and hold that up? Yeah, I think that's better ultimately. I want to hold up the instant speed one if I can. So we'll go ahead and spend one Lava Coil here. We'll see if they give it a dive down. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and kill it now. These guys can be pretty bad. I do want to get in some damage now. And this way we protect Sarkhan. And down to 14 past the turn. We don't have a ton of mana at the moment. Okay, Enigma Drake. Lava Coil. See if they have another dive down or something here. But we have good blockers for these guys as well. Alright, well... Add 2 mana. We want to get down Skarrgan here.
Might demands power.
Skarrgan. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put a counter on this. We don't need to swing in hastily at the moment. Oh, I should have played a mountain down first. Oops. Oops. I was thinking I could have something to discard with Sarkhan. But really, we kind of want more land for the Skarrgan now. Skarrgan anyway. Sarkhan and Skarrgan. It's hard to... so we can't swing in because they give it dive down past the turn. And we do need to start swinging in eventually here. They just have so much card draw. We just need them to start drawing dead at some point here. We're going to block and block. I'm guessing they have a dive down. Keeping Sarkhan is so good here if we can. So they'd have to have 2 dive downs to survive this now. Yeah, so they do get to kill this Skarrgan, which would have been nice to be able to do some damage there. But we, with everything they're playing in this deck, we're a couple turns away from that actually being useful. So hopefully we can draw into some other stuff. All right, so they shock here. Able to kill both. Good trade for them. And they have another Drake. Bad for Jeffrey. Alright, well... Spell Pierce or Dive Down. Let's go ahead and try to Lava Coil. Alright, don't have another Dive Down. That's good. Alright, we are going to discard.
I don't need this. I need this.
And Mountain. Pass the turn. Alrighty, well, our Sarkhan might go off, and that would just be beautiful if it can. Alright, so tick up, discard. Really hope I don't hit a Lathless here. Fiery Cannonade, it's not bad. And pass the turn. And so next turn we can create 4 5/5 dragon creature tokens with flying. Alright, so now we go ahead and Fiery Cannonade. They actually could have done it again there. They actually probably should have. Alright, oh man, do we tick up with Sarkhan? We have 2 more Sarkhans in the deck that we can find along the way. So let's go ahead. Okay, so opponent does scoop it up. So, whew, alright. Yeah, I think that just pressing our advantage there was definitely the right choice. So I would have created the 4 dragons. Alright, Gilgim. Bring it on, Gilgim. And we shall see, we shall see. Dragon's Horde on turn 3 is not bad. That actually gives us Demanding Dragon on turn 4 with a chance to draw, and we have some good draws to draw into. So I'm actually going to keep this. This is a pretty slow hand, but not a bad looking slow hand. I actually kind of like Field of Ruin for the Gates decks as well, because they typically aren't playing that many basic lands. Alright, Mountain pass the turn. Alright, Various Bladewing is good. Alright, Discovery. At least it's not a discard. We're playing a little too slow for control here. Slower than I'd like to, though. Alright, Field of Ruin, Dragon Sword. Pass the turn. Field of Ruin can come in useful against like Watery Grave if they have a search for its content. Notion Rain. Is this just a Surveil deck? I have not seen Surveil in a while, and honestly, I still really like Surveil. There's a lot of good cards. Are they gonna have to discard one? Maybe this is like a Reanimator deck. Reanimation is pretty good. Alright, well, Mountain, Demanding Dragon. 5 points of damage. Down to 13. And I mean, something could have been... maybe I should have played Varric's Blade Wing to draw, but I feel like getting the 5 points of damage, especially in a deck that's going to have lots of removal, I really like that there. So, Lathless, we'll see if this survives. Ravenous Chupacabra is bad. More Verasa's Contempts. Also not grand. But we're getting him out of their hand. That's what matters. And a kicked Varric's Blade Wing on this next turn is not too shabby either. And then we have a lot of draws on the turns following this. So for the next 4 turns, we can draw 2 cards a turn. And still have plenty of mana for everything we need to do, so this should be good. Dragon's Horde is really so awesome in this. The biggest issue with dragons, I feel like, is that you tend to need to maximize your mana. Like you have to play so many big things. Well, let's go ahead and if they're playing Quench, I'm gonna be really bummed about playing that first. So let's go ahead and play Demanding Dragon. See if it gets countered. I'm guessing it does. But we would just have so much damage if they didn't. In fact, do we Lightning Strike and make them have to have answers here? Or do we just draw? I guess we can pass the turn and see what we want to do. If they play something big, alright, so Doom Whisperer. Alright, resolve. And now we're going to draw. We can double... Alright, we can... okay. We got some good options now. Alright, so... Spit Flame. Lava Quill, Lightning Strike, and that's game. Lava Coil. And Lightning Strike. Bam! Alright. Well, that looked good. It was a semi-slow start, but they also... they just didn't counter a few things that were really necessary for them to counter. They just didn't draw into them early enough, I guess, or something. But that worked out very well for us. All right, there you guys have it with Red Dragons, Mono Red Dragons, and super fun deck. Again, I'm not positive if Field of Ruin really demands a spot here. The biggest thing is I just don't feel like I'm ever just spending a turn doing that. We could have there a few times, but I'm just not sure what to really put in for the extra lands. I think Detection Tower is actually a good one. But overall, I just really like this deck. It's fun. You're playing dragons. You can do some crazy things with Lathless and Sarkhan. Skarrgan is really fun, and just overall, this is a really fun deck. I think the numbers can be played around with a little bit, but ultimately, I like how this one is playing. Lightning Strike could be changed into something else, possibly. But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys would do differently with this deck, because ultimately I really like it. It's really fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff helps me out so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much, and goodbye.